Well, that was almost perfect timing. I learned how to use my plasma cutter a little better. I clamped a 1/4 inch piece of steel on it. I could drag it and make a pretty good cut. This one here, cut it out pretty easy, and I didn't spend a lot of time grinding on it. Put it in and start welding it up. Still having a little trouble there on the bottom because it's got 2 layers of frame and I can't really get the rust out. But I was doing pretty good here on top, and my welder goes, ugh! So I'm out of wire. And my gas says 0. So I guess that's pretty good timing. Run out of gas and wire at the same time. So it looks pretty good. Yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 different techniques there. I probably should figure out which one's the best and stick with that so it'll look good. But I know what I was doing on each one. Anyway, it's in there and welded up. I'll wire brush both of these and throw some rust converter on them. Have a bite to eat. Go get me some wire and gas and press on. Well, I got all loaded up, ready to go, and then realized that they're closed today. So I had a little bit of flux core wire left, well, almost a whole roll. I quit using it because it was just burning through the sheet metal, but it'll probably work okay to finish that up. I gotta change my electrodes around and some other stuff, and we'll give this a try. Boy, I forgot how much splatter there was. This stuff's popping everywhere, but I got this welded up. When you compare this is a pretty good weld actually to this big pile I got on here. It's burnt right into the metal. So somehow I think I probably need to turn my voltage up or my wire feed down on the solid core and get that weld to lay down in there like that. It's had some trouble when I transitioned from the flux core into the, like right here where it started to go into that big lump. But actually not bad. It won't take near as much grinding to get that down as it will this other stuff. So learned a little on that. I did turn my wire feed down and it wasn't doing very well, and I turned it back up and turned the voltage down, and it was laying in there pretty good there at the end. It takes a lot of practice with welding, and you got to do it all the time. So now that I've got this all pretty much boxed in, my practice is over. I got my new U-joint, the small one, so I'm gonna try to get this thing out of here and put the new one in. And super clean sent me another box of stuff, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I don't know what it'll be, you know. Whoever leaves the longest comment or something. So they'll send you a free box of Super Clean. The stuff works good. I'm going to do a little video review of it on some stuff here. And so I'll kind of watch for that. Probably next video I'll have a Super Clean review. And my little turn signal switch showed up, and it turned out that the pin, the end of the arm, was broke off inside the steering column. So it has a little locker on it, and I just cut it off about 3/8 of an inch, and I was able to jam it in there and twist it a little so it locked, and I got it full of JB weld. So there's my high and low, left and right, and I didn't break anything. Of course, the wiper stuff is just for the fun of it, because it ain't turning nothing inside. But at least I got a turn signal switch, and that's what I wanted. Well, I got these two front frame horns here, and that's the end of this frame. And got some flux core wire there, getting kind of close to the end of the day. But I think this would be a good cycle. I need to cut a plate, weld it in here. That's where my radiator is going to have to go. And just box this little piece. So that's what I'm going to do. Make me a cardboard template, knock out a couple pieces and put it in. Well, there's a driver's side cut out, welded up. Where my chip and hammer went, but I can tell by looking at it that it's a pretty decent weld, and I was able to get to the bottom pretty good. So this is all welded good, and turned out that this plate right here is not really welded very good either, or at all. So I was put a little weld on it, starting to pile up, but the part that I did is looking pretty good. Chip and hammer takes this stuff off a lot better than just a wire brush. But I actually did a lot better with flux core than I did with the wire feed welder with gas. So I guess I kind of haven't lost my touch there. Actually, I can do a more of a continuous bead. I'll just have to play with that TIG setting some more. I think it's probably I need to increase the voltage or something to get it to lay down better. But I think this is I think they're both 30 thousandths wire. Anyway, this one's in. I got the other one plates cut out here somewhere. Where it's at. Here's the plate. So I need to clean that up a little, put it in, and I'll weld this one up, grind them both down. Might have just missed a little place right there. All in all, that's not too bad though. It sure looks a lot stronger than it was. So I think I'm good to go. I'll continue with this. Attempted to grind this one down, see what it looks like first. That looks great ground down. I had one little tiny hole in that I patched, but looks good enough. Of course, I'll probably clean this up, throw some Bondo on it, but basically looks good enough, and it's all real solid. Now I guess I'll clean that up and see what I can do about the other plate. Well, there's that one done. Turned out pretty good. I realized where I got this idea I could patch with the gas. This stuff here, you know, you kind of got a little pool of flux, and you can weld into that flux, and it'll melt, and you can fill up stuff pretty good. So I don't know how many thousands of hours I did with flux core rod. It's only in the last year that I've been using TIG or MIG, whatever, gas, and skills coming back real good. I burn through and patch it, and I know that when I grind this off, it'll all be nice and smooth. I quit using it because when I was trying to weld sheet metal, this is not really the way to go to weld sheet metal. But you know, any kind of fairly heavy plate like this, you can do a real good job. I might have one or two holes in that. I had one in this one. In fact, I'll just grind it down now and we'll take a look at it. Didn't have any holes in it. Ground down just as pretty as you please. So looks like a hole there, but it's not. It just needs to be taken down more. Of course, there's a lot of grinding, a lot of splatter with the flux core, but just goes to show you could do a real nice job with it. But anyway, I haven't done the bottom of that yet, but it's pretty straightforward, and I need to weld a little bit more on this outside here on the bottom. I don't really know how important that is. There's really nothing out here that it's supporting. And then this boxing here on the side will make it plenty strong. I'll make those two little square patches there right below the A-arm. Put those in, grind it down. This ought to look pretty nice. Got the kind of the floor on this radiator shell here. It's going to cover most of this up. So this ends the boxing. All I got to do is put some rust converter on it, and we'll be good to go. Shouldn't take too long. I got two big plates and 2 little plates, so that'll be good. Well, here's the frame is done. Boxing anyway. I got to do a little cleanup and grinding. There's this that one's rust converted. This one's rust converted. Got a little bit of it on my drive line there, but basically it's from the back all the way to the front. Looks pretty good. And keep watching here for my super clean giveaway. So my friend over here with these that delivered that plywood to me the other day, that big white piece there, he made me kind of an interesting offer on this old Dodge Brothers I got over here, and so it looks like I'll be getting back on it. All I really got to do is put brakes on it and run some tail lights and throw some glass in it. I need to put glass in it anyway. I'll get this thing sold and get it out of here. So he's got this old International truck. I'll show you here. This thing here, I don't know if it's an International or GMC. Yeah, it's an International. And he wants to get it running and driving so he can get in a parade with it. Motor's bad. Gonna have to put another motor in it. All the wood, of course, is gone, so got to make some kind of a frame for that. But it really shouldn't be that much trouble to get it running and driving. That's a pretty cool old truck. And so he wants me to do a bunch of work on it, and he's going to help me out with that Dodge, kind of give me an advance so I can get it finished and sold. Give me advance on working on this, but this ought to be the next project. I just have to build a cab and frame and fix up the doors where they close and stuff. Put some motor mounts in it. Figure out the brakes and all that stuff. Shouldn't be too bad. Not like we're going to make a race car out of it. Just get it running and driving where it'll run and drive safe. But that'll be one of my next projects. And so I got to get some of this sold and done. Well, like I was saying, not a lot of people know how to work on this old stuff. I mean, I think there is. But when you stop and look at the thousands and thousands of cars that are out there and the kind of people that work on them, there's not a whole lot of guys that um, know how to do this, know how to do it right. Oh, my glasses look weird on here. Looks like it's about time to shave again. Anyway, so when you find somebody that can work on one, and the thing is a lot of people could work on it if they had parts, but there's no parts. They just don't exist, or you can look for a year for a door hinge or something. And so the quickest way to do it, just make one. And you can make a whole car if you had a big block of steel in a file. If you had enough time, you could file a whole car out piece at a time. It might take you 1,000 years, but who cares? You can still do it. So a lot of this stuff, and there's no money in it, really. I mean, one thing, the demand is very low. It's like you got a 2005 whatever. There's a lot of guys who want it. A lot of guys drive them. A lot of parts. A lot of this. A lot of everything. A lot of people want one. But 36 Ford, who wants them? Well, just 36 Ford guys or somebody old. So, I wouldn't say it's a dying skill. There's a lot of guys. I watch YouTube all the time and the Motor Trend channels and this and that. A lot of people know how to do this stuff. A lot of people are pretty good at it. But when I say a lot of people, I would say probably 1 out of 5,000 or 10,000 mechanics even know what you're talking about when you're talking about a split wishbone. It's not in the computer, so they don't know. So actually I have a pretty good skill here. He's got a lot of old stuff over there, and there are no parts, and he'd like to get them running and drive them in a parade and whatever. And he could do it, but he's got so much things going on. He must have 100 different projects in various states of whatever. So anyway, I'm going to get this old International truck or GMC running for him. I'm going to put another motor in it. Just a regular old Chevy 6-cylinder truck motor. Pucka, 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 run forever. And figure out how to hook up his brakes and clutch and whatever. It's just a matter of welding up some stuff, and I got to make a steel frame for the cab because it was all wood, and a good gust of wind to take it right off. So anyway, he's gonna help me out with this Dodge over here. Kind of paid me in advance to fix his old truck. And I can get rid of it, and I can jump on it and knock it out and get it ready to sell, and just pushed out here on the street, and it'll probably sell in a week. But that's the guy that delivered my sheet of plywood with a 5-ton flatbed. Yeah, god damn, must have cost him $20 worth of gas to bring me a free piece of wood. So anyway, he's a nice fella, and I like to work on his stuff. So you're going to see some interesting projects coming up, guys. So that's kind of it on the frame boxing of this. I'll make this the end video for that. But like Rat Rod Bob says, sure do appreciate you. Wailing Wire, and I love watching these guys. Even Bad Chad, he's a go-getter. He's just jumps in there and does it. Yeah, he don't care if it's right or wrong. He just do it, and I like that. you know, because you don't know if it's right or wrong until you do it. And you can sit there and think about it for days and go out there and then finally work on it. It's wrong, you know. Well, you could have figured that out in the first 5 minutes if you just tried it, you know. So whatever your project is, just try it. You know, you don't have anything to lose. You don't have anything to lose. The worst that could happen is that you waste a little welding wire, or you know, I don't care if it's a $20,000 fancy new blower that you drop a bolt in and blow up. It didn't make any difference. If you can afford a $20,000 blower and drop a bolt in it and ruin it, so what? You know, just do it. Just get out there and, you know, just do a piece at a time. But commit yourself to it. Just, you know, do a little piece, another little piece, another little piece, another little piece. Don't get disappointed. Don't expect to get it all done in one day. You won't. Just keep on plugging a little bit at a time. That's like this thing here. I've been plugging it this couple months. So, but right now, you know, it's real close to running and driving. I got, if that transmission was good, which I got to take it apart, but if that was all in there, I could probably drive this thing in 2 days. I've got all the brakes on it. I've got all everything plumbed. The steering works. All I have to do is hook me up some kind of accelerator pedal, and I could drive it. You know, I mean, I'm not going to do that, but you know, this is from just a pile of old rusty parts, and a lot of them didn't even have parts. A lot of it I just made. But this is going to be a real sweet ride. So like and subscribe, guys. Appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.